Good day, everyone. This is Muni once again from Driftwood Studio. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about sharpening and all the various stones that we can use to get the best and sharpest tools that we need. Remember, a sharp tool is a good tool, and a blunt tool leads to injuries. So we have to make sure that everything that we're using in our workshop, woodworkers, that it is properly maintained, and maintenance requires that one of the most important bits is that we keep the blade sharps. And the things that we use are actually of multiple types, but let's put it this way, let me just show it to you. Let's just take number 4. Yeah, there's the let me get mine. Here is my blade. Here is my chip breaker, a chisel. I have another and another chisel. So these are some of the tools that are most commonly used in a workshop. Hand tools. Obviously, there are many other tools, the power tools. They require a whole different set of sharpening and processes. So we are not going to talk about those. We're just going to do the ones that are most commonly used. You have your chisels and you have your blades. And then you've got your chip breaker. What else? I suppose this is it. Predominantly, these are the ones that we use. So what do you do? How do you keep them sharp? And in order for you to keep them sharp, we have a couple of things that I want to tell you. This is the bevel. This part of the blade is called a bevel. And this is the one which engages like this. And it is normally at a certain degree. Well, it is, of course, always at a certain degree for it to work. And the tip is sharpened. So we maintain a very sharp tip for it to actually perform. There's a bevel here, and we have our blade. This is our hand plane blade. This is the bevel, and this is the back of any blade, just like here on the chisel as well. Both these areas, the top and the bottom, they both play an important part in making the cut. So it is important and necessary that we pay attention to both sides. Predominantly it's the top, but the bottom has also to be given due attention. At an average, when we get these things, they are at around 25 degrees. They have been beveled at 25 degrees. My planes, when they come from the factory, they are at around 25 degrees. Now, why are they at 25 degrees? Obviously, it's because the frog, this part of the hand plane, which is called a frog, it's sitting at a 45 degree. So you need your hand plane, the blade, to be at a 25 and above, but not too high, to make the cut. So remember, it would sit at 45 degree like this, and then you will have the bevel at the bottom. So if this is 45, then you have the bevel at the bottom, and that bevel will connect with the material. We have to make sure that this part, as well as the bevel part, is maintained and it's kept sharp. I recommend personally that we use good Sharpening tools. It's an investment that everyone must do. You should not wait on this. This is one of the earliest investment that you should do if you move into woodworking. It's one of the last things that I actually got into, and this is counterintuitive because we feel as beginner woodworkers that whenever we get a tool from a factory, the factory people know the best, and they would have definitely made it last the longest, which is not the case. You get it, even a very fresh new piece of any equipment, any hand tool needs sharpening right away. You need to pay attention as it comes out of the box. So don't wait on it to learn sharpening. Sharpening has to be done as soon as possible. Now, I have recently done some investment into my sharpening stones, and I'm going to share with you. The current setup that I also have, I don't think I have it here. I think it's in my workshop. But these are some of the things that came yesterday, and I'm going to share with you what they are. I will need a bin for this. So let me just pull them all out first, and then we can talk about it. So if I was to give you a bit of a background of what and how sharpening and everything started, the traditional thing that we used to work with was whetstones. And the whetstones were basically, they were stones. They were stones, they had different grits, and based on that they were working. They're very difficult to work with because the problem with them is that when you use them, and I bought one initially when I bought my first hand plane, a very silly one, a very silly hand plane. I mean, I don't even know why I bought it. I suppose I bought it because I was doing power tools in those days, and I had to make mortise and tenon. Now, I had a few power tools. I had a circular saw, and I had, in those days, I had a circular saw, and I think I had recently bought a table saw. Those were the two things that I started working with initially. And when I was trying to make a bench, I remember I had to make mortises. And I said, how do you do it? So I went online and I did a bit of research, and I came up, okay, I need a chisel. So I bought a few chisels, and I bought a hammer, chisel, and then I realized that I need also to buy myself a hand plane. And those chisels need to be sharpened, because after a certain period of time they started to wear off. So I realized I need a stone. So I just went online, the cheapest thing that I could find I bought, and I started doing it. So when I would sharpen it, the stone started having it started having a divot, or it started having a dent in the middle. And that's actually a problem, because if you start having that with your tool and you use the same stone to continue to sharpen your tools, it will create all sorts of problems for you, and it will create difficulties which you will not be able to correct over a long period, after a certain period of time. And it will reshape your bevel and the tip of your cutter or your chisel or whatever that you're working with. So it is important that you have something which is flat and can be flattened. So then I move on to diamond plates. Diamond plates are actually the best thing that has happened to sharpening over a long period of time. They don't wear out easy on you, and they don't require much maintenance. The problem is that you don't get really sharp stones, really high grit stones, like 16,000, 8,000, and so on and so forth. You only get about 2,000, 3,000. The most that I've actually seen around where I buy from is 3,000. I've heard that people have found 4,000, 5,000 as well, but I don't know. Maybe 4,000 at best. It doesn't go more than that. So for anything higher than that, you need whetstones. You need ceramic stones. And this is, so I then eventually ended up buying a ceramic whetstone as well. That was a 3,000, I think 4,000. But the recent ones that I've actually done in this investment, and I'm really happy about it, is something that I'm going to show you. So I opened one yesterday. I think it was, which one was it, man? I think it's this one, yeah. So this is a diamond plate, 1,000 grit sandstone, as you can see. Now, the previous one that I bought, they had a pattern in it, a pattern. This one doesn't have it, but I suppose it would do the job. And the reason why I changed it is because the last one that I had were very narrow. So I think they are mostly for knives, kitchen knives, but I needed something more wider. And this one is about 75 mm. I think the previous one I had was about 60 mm. And this is 75, so it's almost one